Have you ever had your heart ripped out by someone you thought would be there forever? You thought you found the one, only to find out she's already moved on, while you're left picking up the pieces. If you've felt that gut-wrenching pain and wondered how to take back control of your life, you're in the right place. Today we're diving into the brutal reality most men face but never talk about. This isn't some soft, feel-good advice. No, this is about facing the truth, turning your pain into power, and becoming the kind of man she'll regret ever letting go of. If you're ready to hear the real, raw truth, no sugarcoating, drop a comment below. But most importantly, are you going to watch this till the end? Here's the deal. Heartbreak is something every man goes through, but it's one of those things society doesn't want us to talk about. They'd rather you bury it, ignore it, pretend like it doesn't bother you. But we all know that's a lie. Heartbreak is one of the deepest pains a man can experience. And here's the brutal truth. No one cares about a man's heartbreak. They'll call you weak, tell you to move on, act like you're not even allowed to feel. But guess what? We're not here to bury our feelings. We're here to face them head-on and use that pain to fuel the greatest transformation of our lives. This video is for the men who are ready to wake up, confront the harsh reality, and become stronger because of it. I'm not here to sugarcoat it or offer feel-good fluff. This is about survival. This is about power. This is about reclaiming your worth. If you're still with me, buckle up. We're diving deep into the harsh truths that no one else is talking about. Before we go any further, make sure to subscribe to the channel, or better yet, join as a member if you believe in supporting real content that speaks directly to men. Let's take back control. Let's get this straight. Heartbreak hurts because you invested your time, your energy, and probably a lot of money into someone who no longer cares about you. It's harsh, but it's true. She's moved on, and if you're honest with yourself, she's probably happier now than she was with you. That sting you feel, that's your ego, your mind telling you that all that investment was a waste. But here's where most men go wrong. They let that pain destroy them instead of using it to build themselves up. This is where stoicism comes in. The first rule of stoicism is simple. You can't control anyone's actions but your own. She's gone. Fine. It's time to shift your focus from her back to yourself. Heartbreak is actually the best teacher you'll ever have, if you're willing to learn from it. Instead of thinking about what you lost, start thinking about what you've gained. A chance to wake up, rebuild, and become stronger than ever before. Here's how you do it. Stop reaching out to her. Stop checking her social media. Stop wondering if she's with someone else. That time you spend obsessing over her. It's making her stronger and you weaker. Instead, start a daily ritual of self-improvement. Every time you feel that pang of pain or regret, get up and do something to make yourself better. Hit the gym. Read something that makes you smarter. Push yourself past your comfort zone. Because every step away from her is a step closer to the man you're meant to become. Number 1. Understanding heartbreak through a stoic lens. Heartbreak hurts because you invested precious pieces of your life, your time, your energy, and yes, even money, into someone who no longer values those things. But here's the hard truth. She's moved on. And if you're being honest with yourself, she's probably happier now than when she was with you. That sting you're feeling right now? It's your ego talking. It's your mind trying to convince you that all that investment was for nothing. But here's the thing, most men make the mistake of letting that pain destroy them. Instead, we need to use it to build ourselves up. Heartbreak is not an end, it's a reset button. It's a new beginning. When you invest in someone, you're giving them parts of yourself, moments, energy, and thoughts that are irreplaceable. It's easy to feel like that was all a waste. But here's where Stoicism teaches us something powerful. None of it was wasted. Because everything you went through taught you something invaluable. It taught you your limits. It taught you your values. It taught you what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not. And that's a lesson that will never leave you. A stoic man knows his boundaries and doesn't let anyone push him beyond them. So, if she's out of your life, let it go. It's a lesson learned. Now take that lesson and move forward. You don't need to sit around wondering why she left or what went wrong. You take every ounce of that hurt and you use it to build a version of yourself that you never even imagined. Heartbreak through a stoic lens isn't something to mourn. It's something to use to sharpen you, to make you more resilient. The pain, the disappointment, the loss, that's all fuel. You control how that fuel gets used. Number 2. Why men experience heartbreak differently. Let's talk about why heartbreak hits men harder than it does women. When a relationship ends, most men don't have the same support system that women have. Women often have friends, family, or even strangers who are ready to lend a sympathetic ear. But men, society tells us to suck it up, be strong, move on without processing anything. You're expected to be a rock, emotionless, unbreakable. But here's the harsh truth. You can't talk to everyone about your pain. Most people won't care, and those who do might see it as weakness. So why does heartbreak hit men so much harder? From a young age, men are taught that we are the providers, the protectors, the ones who keep it all together. So when a relationship ends, it doesn't just feel like the loss of companionship. It feels like a personal failure. You weren't just rejected. You failed at one of the most fundamental things society expects of you, maintaining stability. This isn't about ego, it's about your identity. When she walks away, it feels like your entire identity has been compromised. The reality is, most men don't have the luxury of a support system. Women can express vulnerability, cry on a friend's shoulder, get encouragement from those around them. But men, if you open up about your heartbreak, you're often met with awkward silence, or worse, ridicule. People don't see a man's heartbreak as legitimate, and that makes the pain even more isolating. But here's the kicker. While she's out there sharing her story and finding comfort, you're left to pick up the pieces alone. And guess what? That's actually a good thing. The fact that no one is coming to save you is exactly what makes this journey so powerful. This is your journey, no one else's. Once you realize that the only one who can pull you out of this pain is you, that's when real growth starts. You don't need the world's sympathy. What you need is inner strength, resilience, and a plan to build yourself into someone who doesn't break, but only gets stronger. Accept that this experience is different for you. Accept that it's lonelier, harder, and more isolating. And then let that fuel you to rise above it. Number 3. The power of emotional self-control. Society has fed you a lie. It's told you that controlling your emotions means burying them, acting like they don't exist. But that's nonsense. Real emotional control isn't about ignoring or suppressing your feelings. It's about mastering how and when you let those emotions surface. Let's say you're feeling angry, hurt, or worthless after a breakup. You could drown those feelings with distractions, run away from them. But that's weakness. Real emotional control means sitting with that pain, understanding it, and then using it as fuel. It's like harnessing fire. If you let it burn wild, it'll destroy everything in its path. But if you learn to channel it, you can use that fire to forge a better version of yourself. Mastering emotional self-control is like training for a fight. But instead of fighting others, it's a battle against yourself. The worst mistake most men make is trying to ignore the pain, brushing it off or drowning it out with distractions that only leave them weaker in the end. But real men know this truth. Emotions, especially negative ones, aren't meant to be ignored. They're meant to be mastered. Imagine every emotion, every surge of anger, sadness, regret, as a weight on a barbell. The more you lift it, the stronger you get. But only if you lift with control. Going through heartbreak. Think of it as mental weightlifting. Here's a practical approach. When a powerful emotion starts to creep in, pause. Don't react immediately. Recognize it. Maybe it's anger. Maybe it's loneliness. Look at it. Own it. Then choose how you're going to act. This is how you turn raw emotion into power. When you feel anger, channel it into physical activity. Take it to the gym. Put it into your craft. Use it for something constructive, because pain has no power over you unless you let it. Take control of your emotions and watch how your life begins to fall in line. Here's the truth. Most men are out there acting on impulses they can't control. They let their emotions dictate their actions, their moods, their self-worth. But not you. You're choosing to be different. Emotional control is about being deliberate. When you're in charge of how you feel and what you do with those feelings, you become unstoppable. Women might leave, life might knock you down. But when you're the master of your emotions, you're untouchable. Control them, don't suppress them. Suppression is weakness. Mastery is strength. Number 4, turning pain into fuel. Heartbreak hurts. There's no amount of rationalization that's going to change that. But here's the secret. Pain is the strongest fuel in existence. Some of the most successful men on this planet have been driven by pain, by loss, by rejection. Don't think of heartbreak as the end of something. Think of it as your call to action. You're standing at a fork in the road. You can either let this pain consume you, or you can use it to fuel a life you never thought possible. Here's the truth. Pain is one of the most powerful motivators you'll ever experience. When life is easy, when everything's comfortable, there's no reason to push yourself. But pain strips away all the fluff, all the comfort, all the excuses. And it leaves you with only one option: to rise. Heartbreak, it's the ultimate pain. It's personal. It's deep, and it cuts to the core of who you are, but that's what makes it the best fuel for transformation. If you can take that heartbreak, the betrayal, and use it as a launch pad, there's no limit to how far you can go. Here's how you do it. Set goals that scare you. Goals that demand every ounce of your focus, every drop of your energy. Pain sharpens your focus. It makes everything else seem irrelevant. Let that focus drive you. If you're feeling weak, good. Use that weakness as fuel to get stronger. If you're angry, perfect. Use that anger to motivate you to prove yourself. This is how you turn heartbreak from something that could destroy you into something that empowers you. Think of every great man you admire. Chances are they didn't get where they are by coasting through life. They've been broken, betrayed, rejected. But instead of letting that pain define them, they used it. Let this pain drive you to become so powerful, so disciplined, that even if she looked back, she wouldn't recognize you, because you didn't let her define you. You let her departure refine you. There's a difference between being broken and being forged. Pain is the forge, and you're being given the chance to create something indestructible. Number 5, building a vision for your future. If you want to rise above heartbreak, you need a vision. You need a clear, powerful image of what you want your life to look like beyond this pain. Most men get stuck, constantly thinking about what they've lost, the past, the memories, the what-ifs. But a man who is serious about growth knows that dwelling on the past gets him nowhere. Instead, you need to turn your eyes forward and create a vision so compelling that the past becomes irrelevant. Think about the man you want to become, the one who stands tall, unfazed, the one who can look anyone in the eye and say, "This is my life, and no one controls it but me." To create this vision, start with concrete goals. Break them down by month, by year, by decade. Visualize where you want to be in 6 months. Picture the confidence, the discipline you'll need to get there. Imagine the friends, the experiences, the life that aligns with that vision. And then, every single day, take a step closer to it. This isn't about proving anything to her or anyone else. This is about proving it to yourself. You owe it to the man in the mirror to build a future so powerful that heartbreak becomes just a tiny stepping stone along the way. Building a vision isn't just about setting goals. It's about aligning every action, every choice with that future you're creating. It's about showing up every day and doing the hard work, even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable. This is your life, your chance, your one shot to build something extraordinary. Don't waste it looking back. The greatest revenge, the sweetest success. It isn't about someone else. It's about building a life so solid, so complete, that you wouldn't trade it for anything, not even for her. That's power, that's freedom, and that's the future you're building. Number 6. Physical strength as a pathway to emotional strength. This is crucial. Every man needs to understand the power of physical strength, not just for looks, but for the discipline it builds. Heartbreak leaves you feeling weak, helpless. But physical training is the exact opposite. It's the daily practice of pushing past your limits, of conquering yourself every single day. When you're in the gym, you're in control. And that's something heartbreak can't take from you. When you hit the gym, it's about more than building muscle. It's about building resilience. Every rep, every set, every drop of sweat is a testament to your ability to face pain and push through it. The gym becomes a place where you're reminded that the only thing you control in this world is yourself. Physical strength isn't just about muscle. It's about forging a mind that can endure. The stronger your body, the stronger your mental resilience. This is a pathway to power that no one can take from you. Consider this. Every workout you complete, every bit of progress you see in the mirror is a reminder that you can build something out of nothing. Heartbreak may have torn you down, but the gym is where you rebuild, piece by piece. You're creating a version of yourself that's unshakable, and that's something no one, not even the woman who broke you, can affect. Physical strength translates directly into mental discipline, into the kind of resilience that life can't tear apart. So, here's the plan. When the weight of heartbreak starts to feel overwhelming, hit the weights. Turn every emotion, every ounce of pain into raw strength. Let every bead of sweat be a reminder that you're transforming, that you're becoming unbreakable. The discipline, the focus, the drive you build in the gym will carry over into every area of your life. This isn't just about getting stronger physically. It's about building a life that can't be easily shaken. Because when your body is strong, your mind is unstoppable. Number 7. Redefining your identity after heartbreak. A breakup isn't just the end of a relationship. It's your opportunity to redefine who you are. Who are you without her? Who are you without the baggage, the expectations, the old version of yourself? This is your chance to strip away the parts of you that weren't serving you, to discard the habits, the mindsets that made you vulnerable. Heartbreak has a way of exposing the parts of ourselves we might have been ignoring. When you're stripped of everything you thought was solid, you're left with only yourself. And that's where real change happens. Most men go through heartbreak and scramble to fill the void. They rush to find someone new to escape the emptiness. But men who understand growth know this. That emptiness, it's your greatest ally. It's an invitation to redefine yourself, to become the man you've always wanted to be but didn't know how to reach. Think of it as a clean slate, no longer bound by the expectations you set with her. You're free to set new goals, new standards, new non-negotiables. This is your chance to rebuild, to replace any weaknesses with values, habits, and a mindset that serve you. You're not defined by the relationship that ended. You're defined by the man you become afterward. This is where your true power lies. So ask yourself, what kind of man do you want to be? What kind of life do you want to live? Let heartbreak be the turning point where you shed the parts of yourself that were holding you back and step fully into your power. This isn't about revenge or proving anything to her. It's about proving to yourself that you are unstoppable, that you are resilient, that you are capable of creating an identity that is strong, self-assured, and entirely your own. Number 8. The importance of brotherhood and support. You can't do this alone, and you shouldn't try. Men need a brotherhood, a support system that understands their struggle. Surround yourself with people who want to see you win, who will push you, and who will hold you accountable. This isn't about venting or whining. It's about support that keeps you moving forward. Support that keeps you grounded. Support that reminds you you're not alone in this. A real brotherhood is more than just friends. It's a group of men who understand the journey you're on, men who've been through their own struggles and who know what it takes to rise above them. The truth is, men are often encouraged to go it alone, to be lone wolves. But no successful man has ever achieved greatness in isolation. Brotherhood gives you strength, accountability, and perspective. When you're surrounded by men who are also on a path of growth, you're more likely to stay committed. You'll push yourself harder. You'll rise above. Look for communities, clubs, or groups where men are focused on growth. This isn't about complaining or sharing sob stories. It's about creating a space where men build each other up. If you can't find a group, create one. Find like-minded men who are serious about leveling up and start connecting. Talk about your goals, share your struggles, and push each other to stay disciplined. Brotherhood isn't about dependency. It's about collective strength. Remember, the strength of the wolf is in the pack. When you have a pack of men who refuse to settle for mediocrity, men who hold you accountable, who push you to be the best version of yourself, there's nothing that can stop you. The right brotherhood is one of the best assets you can have on this journey. Number 9. Setting boundaries and self-respect. When a relationship ends, it's easy to lose your sense of self-worth. But this is precisely the time to establish boundaries and respect yourself more than ever. Set boundaries with everyone in your life. Don't let people who don't respect you have any say in how you live. Your standards should rise with each experience of betrayal or heartbreak, not fall. Boundaries are more than just lines in the sand. They're the foundations of self-respect. Too many men go through heartbreak and think it's a reflection of their worth. But the reality is, heartbreak is a reflection of what you were willing to tolerate. And if that tolerance was low, now is the time to raise it. Setting boundaries is about knowing your worth and protecting it. It's about refusing to let anyone take advantage of your time, your energy, or your peace. Think of it this way: if you don't respect yourself, no one else will. Boundaries are the rules you set for how others treat you, and they start with how you treat yourself. This means no more chasing after people who don't value you, no more wasting energy on those who don't reciprocate. Heartbreak is a reminder that respect is earned, not given. Set standards for yourself that are so high, they repel anyone who isn't worthy. Here's the takeaway. Boundaries are non-negotiable. They're a sign of strength, of self-respect, and of growth. When you establish them, you're not just protecting yourself from others, you're showing yourself that you deserve better, and the stronger your boundaries, the more powerful you become, both in your relationships and in every other area of your life. Number 10. Embracing solitude for self-discovery. Society is afraid of solitude, But for a man, it's essential. Alone time is where you find yourself. It's where you assess who you are, free from any external influences. In solitude, you're free to rebuild, to reflect, to redefine. This isn't loneliness. It's a man's workshop, where you strip everything down to the essentials and rebuild yourself better. Solitude is where the real work begins. It's not just about being alone. It's about being with yourself, understanding your strengths, your weaknesses, your aspirations. Heartbreak has a way of making you question everything. But solitude is where you find the answers. It's where you start to understand who you are when no one is watching, when there's no one else around to influence you. This is where you begin to rebuild and craft a life based solely on your own standards, values, and ambitions. The greatest men in history have spent time alone, contemplating their paths, refining their goals, and understanding themselves on a level most people never reach. Solitude isn't a punishment. It's a gift. It's a place where distractions fall away, and you're left with nothing but your own thoughts and aspirations. And in that quiet, you'll find clarity, strength, and direction. The world might tell you that being alone is sad, but a man who embraces solitude is a man who is truly free. So embrace the silence. Let solitude be your sanctuary, your training ground. Use this time to craft a vision so clear, a purpose so strong, that nothing and no one can shake it. When you're content with your own company, you become a man who doesn't need validation from anyone else. Solitude is where you find your true self. And when you find that, you've found a foundation that no heartbreak, no setback can ever take away from you. Let's bring it all together. Men, heartbreak isn't a dead end. It's a turning point. A brutal but necessary wake-up call. It's a chance to shed your old self and forge someone unbreakable. Someone who doesn't just survive, but thrives in the face of adversity. The pain you're feeling right now, that's your fuel. The solitude, that's your workshop. And the journey ahead, that's the life you're building. One step, one choice, one act of resilience at a time. Remember, you're not here to just get over it. You're here to use this experience to become a force so powerful that no setback, no person, no circumstance can shake the man you're creating. You've been given the gift of starting fresh, of defining yourself without anyone else's influence. And if you use this time wisely, if you channel every ounce of that pain into building a life of strength, discipline, and purpose, you'll look back on this heartbreak and realize it was the best thing that ever happened to you. But don't keep this realization to yourself. Comment below, "I'm forging a stronger self," if you're committed to this journey. If you're ready to turn heartbreak into the foundation of something unstoppable. And share this video. There are men out there who are in the exact same place as you, feeling that same pain, needing that same push. Don't let them stay in the dark. Help them find the strength within themselves by sharing this message. Let's create a community of men who don't just overcome, they rise, they conquer, and they build lives that no one else can shake. If you're ready to take back control, hit that subscribe button and join the channel membership. Let's grow this community and make content that reaches men who need it most.